No one ever thought a friendly hormone inside your body could turn bad so quickly. A faulty glitch in one of your most powerful organs sends this fat-storing fluid straight into your bloodstream. And before long, the damage is already done. What's worse is the effects come on slowly, so you'll never feel a thing, while your pancreas keeps misfiring massive amounts of this heavy hormone, forcing you to store belly fat at a faster rate, no matter how many fruits and vegetables you eat. Think about it. Have you ever looked in the mirror and it seems like you gained 5 pounds almost overnight? Or maybe you took some pictures on a family vacation, only to realize you look so much bigger than you ever imagined. Well, that's exactly what happened to me. Hi, my name is Joss, and just a short time ago, a horrifying family photo on a trip to a bird park in Tennessee with my wife ignited the shocking spark that led to one of the biggest breakthroughs in the health and weight loss world for men and women with 15 or more pounds of fat to lose. A discovery so rare and so controversial, it immediately flushed away 7 pounds off my body in just 3 days. 14 days later, I dropped another 16 pounds, and overall, I melted away 110 pounds and 26 inches from my belly and waist without a single struggle when nothing ever worked for me before. That's right, 110 pounds of pressure lifted off my knees, back, and joints in just a few minutes a day. Going from this to this, all by doing a simple morning detox trick and cutting out 2 healthy fruits that caused my body to store over 100 pounds of ugly fat around my belly, hips, and thighs. And more importantly, this visceral fat that was wrapped around my heart, lungs, and arteries was completely gone, banishing my risk of heart disease, type 2 diabetes, cardiovascular disease, heart hypertension, and a handful of other life-threatening diseases. And I didn't spend any time at the gym because I was way too busy with a full-time job while being a recently married man. I definitely didn't starve myself or completely cut out my favorite foods like burgers and fries or a big cheesy pizza after a long week at work. And if you think I took any expensive pills or supplements, think again. All I did was this one morning detox trick that didn't take any extra time out of my day. And what's even crazier is, I shared this simple detox secret with a doctor friend of mine, and he miraculously lost 8.8 pounds in just 3 days. To be completely honest, while the squishy fat practically fell off week after week, I had even more time to enjoy the things I love the most. And I felt so sad for everyone I heard slogging away on the treadmills for hours or spending so much time exercising when that was the exact opposite of what worked for me. You see, all I did was this one simple morning detox trick before heading off to work that killed off the hidden hormonal glitch going on inside my belly, which affects over 80 million people worldwide according to the latest research from the MedShape Weight Loss Clinic. This epidemic has gotten out of control almost overnight, forcing men and women of all ages to pile up more fat, particularly around your belly, thighs, and butt area without warning. So if you've been struggling to lose weight, and if you're completely and incredibly frustrated because nothing ever works for you, then you may be suffering from the same hormonal glitch that invades your bloodstream, sending a chemical message to your brain to store more fat. The good news is, if you finally want to lose as much weight as you desire easily and effortlessly, without counting calories or killing yourself in the gym, then you're in the right place at the exact right time, because in just a minute, I'll reveal the hidden hormonal glitch that caused me to weigh over 300 pounds out of nowhere. And even better, I'll show you exactly how to fix it. Plus, I'll share with you the 2 fat-storing fresh fruits that you must absolutely avoid if you have 15 or more pounds you want to lose. And I'll tell you how my friend Dr. Sadiq ended up using this simple detox trick to melt away 8.8 pounds in just 3 days. I know, most of what I share with you here today may be extremely controversial, because we've been brainwashed to believe all fruits and veggies are healthy for us. Yet after losing over 100 pounds that I was carrying around for years, I know what worked for me, and I can't wait to share it with you. Just imagine waking up tomorrow morning and seeing a flatter belly by using this one simple detox trick that has nothing to do with your age or what physical condition you're in. After all, when I was 300 pounds, I developed some serious knee and ankle issues from supporting all that extra weight. And I could barely even exercise, which is exactly what makes this secret so powerful, because anyone can do it. However, first I want to share something with you that I haven't told anyone. Not my friends, not my parents, and not even my wife of over 15 years. So here's the God's honest truth. It sucks being fat. And I should know, up until a few years ago, I spent almost my entire life overweight. And as hard as it is for me to talk about, I know my story might help you when no one else understands what you're going through. So here's the quick story. Since I was a kid, I've struggled with my weight. All the way back to elementary school, kids would make fun of me, call me names, and bully me constantly. I learned at a pretty young age how cruel the world could be. Every day I woke up was the worst day of my life. I would come home from school, run into the bathroom, lock the door, and just stare in the mirror asking why. Why did I have to look the way I did? Why did the other kids have to be so cruel? And even then, long before high school, I sometimes thought about ending it all. I thought about it more than once. I figured if I wasn't here, then I wouldn't have to feel the pain anymore. And although I never acted on those thoughts, I always wondered why being overweight caused everyone to be so mean to me. The years passed and I kept getting bigger. The weight seemed to keep piling on, and I would eat to distract myself from the pain I was feeling. The pain of being made fun of every day. The pain of not having many friends. The pain of getting shoved to the ground or food thrown at me by the other kids in school as I walked by. Just cruel. Looking back, the worst day of my life was when I started middle school. I was actually excited, thinking it would be a fresh start. I thought if I was friendly and nice to people, they wouldn't pick on me so much. Sadly, those dreams didn't last long. I remember waking up trying to find something to wear. This was always the worst part of the morning for me because none of my clothes ever fit. I had to suck in just to pull up and button my jeans. My shirts were always skin tight, not because I wanted them to be, simply because I was so overweight. My shirts would cling to my body and really show my shape, which is exactly what I was trying to hide whenever I left the house. It was like going swimming in a t-shirt. Nothing was left to the imagination. Then I would head to the bathroom, brush my teeth, and stare at my double chin and fat cheeks in the mirror. It was a horrible daily reminder of how fat I was. If I could, I would have gotten rid of every single mirror in that house. That morning, I went to the bus stop, still clinging to the hope that going to a new school would be different. Maybe a few more people would accept me. Maybe I'd find a few friends to sit with at lunch. Maybe someone would even let me sit with them on the bus. Yet, when the bus arrived, I quickly realized that nothing was going to change. As I walked down the aisle, looking for a seat, I could already hear the other kids laughing at me. "Look at the pig! Hey, fat butt! Hope you eat the teacher so we get out of class earlier." And of course, no one would let me sit by them. The verbal abuse was just so hard. I wanted to cry. Yet deep down, I knew that only made things worse. And even though this was by far the worst time of my life, where I was so miserable I didn't even want to go out in public or even stand in front of the mirror in the morning, it was also the start of my journey. Time passed and things didn't get any easier. I was depressed. I never wanted to get out of bed in the morning. And honestly, I grew to hate my own life. I still remember one day at lunch during high school, I was looking for a table when one of the popular kids walked by, bumped into me on purpose, then shoved me to the ground. I fell flat on my face. Food went flying everywhere, all over my clothes. And all I could do was pick up my tray and keep walking to my table. I was so embarrassed, yet as sad as it is to say, that was just a normal day for me. And now that I'm at the point where I'm trying to start a family, I can't imagine my kids going through what I had to go through growing up. My heart breaks just thinking about it. However, looking back at that day, getting shoved to the ground and being a school-wide embarrassment was the single day that everything changed for me. See, when I finally got to my lunch table, one of the few friends I had asked me something. And as strange as it sounds, no one ever asked me this before. He said, "Josh, why haven't you tried to lose weight? Maybe those bullies would stop picking on you so much." This was the first time anyone ever mentioned the idea to me. Sure, I was made fun of all the time because I was fat, but the idea that I could change it, that I actually had control over my body and how I looked, was something that never crossed my mind. I thought I was simply born with bad genetics and there wasn't anything I could do about it. And that day at lunch was the day everything changed for me. I couldn't stop thinking about losing weight. I thought about it all day long. And of course, my mind was coming up with every excuse in the book. I don't know where to start. What exactly is a diet? How would it work? Do I just starve myself and stop eating? When I got home that night, after another long day of being bullied and ruthlessly picked on right to my face, I asked my mom what she knew about losing weight. A little stunned, she asked why I was concerned with my weight. I never told her about the bullying at school, and that's when I snapped and the floodgates opened. I broke down. Everything came flushing out. It was as if all the pain, all the anger, and all the sadness I've been holding on to for years came gushing out. I remember bawling and saying, "Look at me, Mom, I'm hideous. I look like a pig and I can't take it anymore." Shocked, she just stood there and listened. She had no idea where this was coming from. I kept it hidden and bottled up for so long. After I calmed down, we started seriously talking about losing weight. She was a great mom and thought I looked amazing. However, deep down she could tell this was something I really wanted. She said she'd heard about this new diet called the Slim Fast diet. A few of her friends at work were doing it and losing a lot of weight. And all you have to do is drink a few shakes a day. And so that's what we did. I wasn't even 16 years old yet and I was on my first diet. And definitely not my last. The thing is, after the first week, the number on the scale already started to drop. For the first time in my life, I had a sense of control over my body. Eventually, weeks became months and I lost over 15 pounds. I felt amazing and I remember thinking, those are 15 pounds I'll never have to see again. My clothes started to fit. I had more energy. And even though I had a lot more weight to lose, the scale was finally going down for the first time in my life. Then the unthinkable happened. Out of nowhere, both of my parents lost their jobs. And since Slim Fast was pretty expensive, it was one of the first things to go. By then, I was down over 25 pounds. Yet, just after a few months later, I gained all the weight back and even more. That's the problem with the quick fix diets that don't rely on real food. Once you get off them, the weight comes back fast. And it all came to a head years later when my wife and I took a family vacation to Gatlinburg, Tennessee. On the last day of our trip, we visited this bird park near Dolly World. It was incredible. There were all these exotic birds everywhere, and it was unlike anything I'd ever seen before. And while we were there, we came across this booth where you could take pictures with the birds sitting on your shoulders. I was extremely hesitant at first because the years of bullying ruined my self-confidence and I grew to hate getting pictures taken. After all, we never even took photos at our own wedding because I absolutely hated looking at myself. However, my wife convinced me, like she always does, and we took the photo. We were hoping to see it as soon as possible. However, it had to be printed out and some other people were in line before us. So we finished the tour, and by the time we were done, our photos were ready. And as strange as it sounds, this weird photo became the turning point in my life. When we finished the tour and got our pictures, I was shocked. I looked huge. It hit me like a ton of bricks because I wasn't just a little overweight, I was easily over 300 pounds. We went back to the cabin and I asked my wife if I had really put on that much weight. And she said, well, yeah, but I love you regardless, so it doesn't really matter to me. That photo turned my world upside down. All of a sudden, the same feelings and emotions from high school came rushing back. Those feelings of being alone, depressed, miserable, unloved. It only took one embarrassing picture to bring those horrible feelings back. I was in denial, and it took me days to accept the fact that I was still that same person who got picked on every day so many years ago. That's when I told my wife that something had to change. Listen, there's going to come a time when you finally reach your breaking point and you realize that something has to change in your life. Maybe you've been frustrated with your weight for a while now. Maybe you felt unloved and alone for far too long. Maybe you had a horribly embarrassing moment like I had where it triggers this mental shift in your brain and you decide right then and there that you're not going to take it anymore. Whatever it is, reaching your breaking point is the best thing that will ever happen to you. It'll save your life. It'll jumpstart your weight loss in ways you can't even imagine. Because when that drive and that determination kicks in, and you take all that built up frustration and anger from years of low self-esteem, others making fun of you behind your back, and maybe even feelings of depression, you take all of that and finally put it towards something powerful and positive, which is you taking back your life and getting the body of your dreams while rejuvenating your health so you can look and feel absolutely amazing every day of the week, and visibly show everyone who doubted you just how wrong they were. That same frustration led me to one of the world's best fat loss experts named Derek Waller. See, I finally made the decision that I absolutely had to lose the weight, yet the problem was I was working over 50 hours a week at a job I hated. And the moment I got home at night after a long day of work, the last thing I wanted to do was eat a healthy dinner or go hit the gym. And after meeting Derek through some mutual friends and basically pouring out my life story about being overweight my entire life, being ridiculed and made fun of mercilessly over a decade, and how all the traditional advice of dieting and exercising more just wasn't going to work with me because deep down I knew I'd never stick with it for more than just a few days, he sent me a text that transformed my life forever. It turns out a lot of his clients were suffering from this almost unknown condition that automatically takes most of the food you eat and stores it as fat on your body, instead of using it for energy. A few days later, I went to the doctor and got checked out for myself. Being over 300 pounds, it was a pretty humiliating experience even just taking my shirt off in front of my doctor. And after running a handful of tests, he came back in and looked me straight in the eye. I could tell how serious he was. My palms were getting sweaty, and I could feel the hair in the back of my neck stand up as I braced myself for the bad news. He went on to say that my blood sugar was extremely high. I had an increased risk for heart hypertension, and worst of all, I was pre-diabetic, which basically meant I was right on the edge of having type 2 diabetes, and if I didn't change soon, I'd become diabetic. And then came the final blow that almost knocked me off my feet. The doctor said, "You know, Josh, if you don't change, you may not see your 60th birthday. You can't go on like this. However, I might have figured out why your body seems like it's programmed to store fat whenever you eat." It turns out there's one hormone that everyone has called insulin. And basically, your body produces insulin whenever you eat to help move sugar from the blood into your cells where it can be used for energy. You see, insulin works just like a key, unlocking your cells to help deliver sugar from the blood. Every cell in your body has a lock on its cell wall called the receptor. Insulin fits into that lock like a key, allowing sugar to enter the cells to be used for energy. However, with some people who have 15 or more pounds to lose, your pancreas, which releases the insulin, starts to malfunction. Like an uncontrollable fire hose whipping around, spraying gallons of wasted water everywhere. So your body is constantly releasing all this insulin because of this strange hormonal mix-up, and what happens is, over time, your cells get immune to the insulin and basically stop using the hormone altogether. It's like the key that won't fit in the lock anymore. And if it does, it can't turn. Over time, your cells become resistant to the insulin because your body is producing so much of it when it shouldn't be. And since your body is basically rejecting it, the insulin ends up in your bloodstream and gets stored around your belly as fat. Have you ever seen someone who's in incredible shape, can eat a big piece of cake or maybe some ice cream or a big juicy burger with a plate full of french fries? They can do that and not gain an ounce because their insulin isn't misfiring every time they take a bite of food. However, if you ate that same exact meal, you could gain a few pounds almost overnight because of the chaos going on inside with your hidden hormonal glitch. I couldn't believe it. Don't you just hate the people who can eat whatever they want and not gain a single pound? And yet, when you decide to enjoy yourself and have some tasty treats, the weight seems to pile up faster than ever. Well, now you know why. And after digging into some of my own research, I found a study that proves over 80 million Americans suffer from this hidden hormonal glitch called insulin resistance. And yet barely anybody knows about it. After all, I never would have figured it out if it wasn't for Derek shining a light on this epidemic that everyone seems to be sweeping under the rug. Instead, you just hear all the same boring advice like eat more veggies or exercise harder, when the truth is, none of that matters if your body's flooded with insulin around the clock, seeping into your bloodstream and forcing your body to store fat instead of burn it off for energy. And it's even more serious in women, putting you at a greater risk for obesity, diabetes, hypertension, heart disease, breast cancer, and even polycystic ovarian syndrome. This aging hormone flowing throughout your body at all hours of the day, long after you've had anything to eat, makes weight loss virtually impossible. Then, as I was about to leave the doctor's office feeling defeated, with a host of health issues that may take me away from my wife way too soon, the doctor asked, "Do you like soup?" Thrown off by his question, I mumbled something close to a yes, while still trying to figure out why in the world he would ask me something like that. And over the next few minutes, he started showing me the strange soup detox that some of his patients went on and lost a ton of weight. Men and women in their 30s, 40s, 50s, even some in their late 70s and 80s were getting leaner as they got older by simply eating these strange soup recipes. And it was like nothing I'd ever seen before because I was so used to the same old chicken noodle and tomato soups that were fine but never led me to lose any amount of weight. And don't even get me started on all those popular cleanses where you basically put a bunch of water in a pot and cook it with raw veggies because not only does it taste awful, you end up gaining all the way back once you start eating real food again. And yet, as my doctor was showing me this, I was scribbling down notes as fast as possible. I mean, after weighing at over 300 pounds and realizing I was insulin resistant, I was desperate and willing to try anything to lose the weight. Have you ever been there before? Where it feels like the world is crashing down on you, you absolutely hate how you look and feel every day, yet you put on a good face and act like everything is okay, when deep down you'd rather just lay in bed all day and not face the cruel world in fear of being judged or talked about behind your back. I can honestly say that's where I was and I had to get out of there fast. As I walked out of the doctor's office on that hot and sunny afternoon, I sat in my car and felt absolutely defeated. It finally all started to sink in. Being pre-diabetic, horribly unhappy and frustrated with my body, and all I could think of was 30 years later, after being humiliated and picked on by everyone at school because of my weight, now it might cost me my life. Even worse, I was furious at myself for letting it get to this point again. Just then, my phone rang. It was Coach Derek checking in on me after the doctor's appointment. When I answered, I could barely speak. It's hard to admit, but tears started rolling down my face. And then it all came out. I told him everything the doctor said. He asked me how my wife felt about this, and I didn't even have the heart to tell her yet. Thankfully, he quickly changed the topic and we started talking about what to do next. And after mentioning insulin resistance, a light bulb went off in his head. See, he started trying out this morning trick with some of his personal and online clients. And it's basically where you reprogram your fat-burning hormones so they flood your body and start eating up your stored fat for fuel. And it works even if you're insulin resistant, diabetic, or have 15 or more pounds to lose. Since this morning trick didn't take any extra time out of my day, I decided to give it a shot. And to get even faster results, he told me about this spoonful of instant energy I should take after waking up that switches your metabolism to burn more fat. It wasn't one of those high-priced energy drinks that's full of sugar and only makes you fatter. It wasn't some high-priced supplement or powder, and it had nothing to do with drinking more coffee or caffeine, because that only makes you more tired later on in the day, when you come crashing down and need another fix to keep you going. In fact, you probably have all three ingredients for this instant energy in your kitchen right now. And since it was so simple and so easy, I started doing it the next day. And because I was insulin resistant and my body had trouble processing all forms of sugar and even some carbs, which you could tell by simply looking at the extra fat around my belly and waistline, Coach Derek had me cut out 2 popular fruits that were causing more harm than good. See, these 2 popular fruits are perfectly fine when you don't have any weight to lose. However, if you do have 10 or more pounds to lose, your body is likely getting a high blood sugar spike from these sugary fruits and storing them as fat around your belly. And we coupled all this with my Dr. Strange soup detox, and that's when it happened. Sure, I started losing weight quickly. However, the soups tasted absolutely awful. There was no salt, no flavor, and I had to plug my nose just to choke it down. So even though I was losing weight and burning fat faster than ever, I knew it wouldn't last because I couldn't stand eating like this for another minute. Desperate to make something happen, my wife, who's an amazing cook, started adding in these secret spices that not only made the soup pop, it also tasted amazing. And since I could eat as much as I wanted, it was like I was in heaven and was never hungry for a single minute. And as the pounds started melting off and my body began to detox the extra weight and toxins out of my body, all by simply using these simple detox secrets and shortcuts, my clothes started fitting better almost overnight. My energy levels went through the roof. I was no longer exhausted and worn out after another 50-hour work week. And my relationship with my wife got so much better because my self-esteem went through the roof as my belly got flatter and my body leaner in just a few days. Just imagine seeing visible and noticeable results in less than 48 hours from now, where you can leave work on a Friday afternoon and come back Monday morning looking and feeling like a completely different person, as you glow and radiate confidence that's been inside you all along and yet never had the chance to come out. And the honest truth is, if you have 10 or more pounds of fat to lose, then you have to know one thing. It's not your fault. You've been simply fed a bunch of lies from the media, doctors, and other experts whose only business it is to keep you sick and overweight so you keep paying their outrageous fees. And if deep down you think insulin resistant may be the hidden hormonal glitch holding you back from having the body you desire and deserve, then here's the truth. If you have an extra inch or more of fat around your belly, it can be a clear sign that your pancreas is malfunctioning and producing way too much insulin, and it's going straight to your belly. Even worse, it's killing your metabolism and making you age much faster, which is why you may feel sluggish and tired even if you get a full night's sleep. A few days later, I called Derek and couldn't believe what I was about to say. I was down 7 pounds in just 3 days. I felt better than ever with amazing energy and a focus that even my boss at work instantly realized. It's like everything was finally coming together. However, I was still skeptical if the results would last. After all, I went on my first diet as a teenager and every single one ended horribly, always gaining more weight in the end than when I started. And since I was losing so much weight so quickly, I didn't think it could possibly keep going. Then 2 weeks passed and I was down another 16 pounds. I just kept following the simple outline that Derek gave me, and once the weight started melting off, relieving all the pressure on my knees, ankles, and joints, I started adding in some short 4-minute low-impact movements that Derek gave me to do right in my own living room. That quickly boosted my metabolism and strengthened my joints, which were nearly ruined from all the high-intensity exercises I did in my 20s, trying to slim down and get leaner, only to end up feeling exhausted and more miserable than ever. And the soup detox recipes kept getting better and better as Derek and my wife uncovered more miracle herbs and spices that eliminated all my inflammation and stripped away the fat around my belly, burning it up for fuel as my metabolism and energy were at an all-time high. And over the next few months, a miracle happened. I lost over 50 pounds of frustrating fat, and within the last year, I dropped 110 pounds and finally have a flat belly that escaped me my entire life. I look and feel better now than I did as a 20-year-old. Even more important, I'm no longer pre-diabetic and my high blood sugar has been gone for months. Getting a clean bill of health from my doctor just a few months later was one of the most amazing moments in my life. And I've never seen my wife so emotional with tears of joy running down her face. After all, we're trying to have a baby, and I couldn't imagine bringing someone into this world without being around to see it. And after seeing these amazing results firsthand, without completely giving up my favorite foods, without killing myself at the gym or ever exercising for more than just a few minutes, and definitely without starving myself or ever feeling hungry or deprived, I realized I had to get this formula into the hands of as many people as possible. Look, if this worked for me, someone who's been overweight my entire life, traumatized by harsh and hateful words, physical altercations, while realizing how cruel the world can be at such an early age, then I know it can work for you too. Just think about it. The only way I was finally able to lose weight, all 100 plus pounds gone, was by doing the exact opposite of what everyone else is doing. By simply taking advantage of a few little known detox secrets that are so simple, most people just brush them off. While most people are looking for the next diet fad, like fasting for 24 hours straight or going paleo, when there are thousands of people who try that every single year and fail miserably, instead, all you need to do is have a spoonful of instant energy in the morning and follow the delicious soup detox later on in the day, where you get to eat amazing tasting foods mixed with secret herbs and spices to detox the unwanted fat right off your body faster than you ever imagined possible. However, the real reason I want to help you is you may be in the same situation as me where your weight keeps going up week after week, month after month, and all of a sudden you're at a serious risk for all these horrible diseases and conditions when in your mind all you did was gain a few pounds. Let me tell you, it's a scary situation being told you're pre-diabetic or you've cut a decade off your life because of the unhealthy choices you've made in the past. And it could be causing you to be insulin resistant or experiencing some other hormonal glitch, forcing the fat to pile up around your belly with some condition that you never even heard of before. And yet it makes absolute sense because even when you've dieted in the past, it never worked long term. And that's because of these hidden hormonal glitches that may have your body working against you without a single warning. That's what happened to me, and it instantly brought back all the feelings of self-doubt and absolutely hating how I looked in the mirror and spending entire weekends at home because I didn't want to go out and face the world with the thought of being stared at by a bunch of strangers who like to judge yet don't know the real me anyways. And although I went through so many emotionally embarrassing experiences like that throughout my life, that is not what I want for you. I want you to wake up tomorrow feeling more energetic and vibrant than ever before. I want you to look in the mirror over the next few days and see your body get leaner while your belly begins to flatten and feels much more firm to the touch. And more importantly, I want you to experience unmatched levels of self-confidence and genuine happiness now that you're no longer obsessing over your body because it's becoming everything you've ever wanted right in front of your own eyes. And there's no time to waste. You can begin experiencing an amazing body and feelings of self-esteem shoot through the roof starting today. That's why I organized all these flat belly secrets into an easy-to-use, done-for-you blueprint called the Flat Belly Detox. You'll get the exact morning fat-burning protocol along with the instant energy recipe that activates your fat-burning hormones and allows them to do all the work for you. So when you're getting ready in the morning, dropping the kids off at school, or sitting at work all day, you'll still be burning fat around the clock thanks to these simple morning secrets that anyone at any age in any physical condition can do. After all, you don't even have to exercise if you don't want to. I didn't in the beginning when I was losing 5 to 7 pounds a week on average, and that's why it works so well, because anyone can do it. You're not jumping all over your living room, following along with some high-intensity workout DVD that only does more damage to your knees, back, and joints. You'll simply be taking advantage of an easy morning trick that doesn't take any extra time out of your day. You'll also discover the exact herbs and spices you should add to your detox throughout the day, so you can flush out the harmful and dangerous toxins that lurk inside your belly and intestines, making weight loss virtually impossible. These harmful bacteria are living in your belly right now, no matter how healthy you are. And they're feeding on everything you eat and drink as they multiply, grow bigger, and begin to take over your body. Which is why adding in these special herbs and spices is so important for your long-term health. And most important of all, you'll have the entire blueprint laid out for you, so you'll know exactly what to do every day without feeling confused for a single second. You'll discover exactly what to eat and drink every day to burn as much fat as possible without counting calories or worrying about portion control. You can literally eat as much as you want and still lose weight, all because of a few belly-slimming super nutrients and anti-aging antioxidants found in every meal, which will help you add years onto your life while flushing out the fat that's been stuck around your belly, thighs, and butt for far too long. I know how it feels to be confused and have no idea what to do or who to believe, which is why I made this Flat Belly Blueprint so simple and so easy to follow. You'll never wonder what you should do next. Everything is laid out for you, so you know exactly what to do to start experiencing amazing results as soon as you get started. And when you start adding in the instant energy trick as soon as tomorrow morning, which is just a spoonful of this amazing concoction that skyrockets your energy while reprogramming your body to burn fat for fuel, you'll start to feel lighter and leaner no matter how much weight you have to lose. And to really tighten up your stomach and lean out your entire body, Coach Derek created these 4-minute flat belly sequences that are extremely low impact, which means they protect your knees, ankles, back, and joints while activating your natural fat-burning hormones so you can burn more fat without risking injury or your health. And the key is doing energy exercises where you're working more than one muscle group at once, which dramatically increases the amount of fat and calories you can burn in such a short period of time. And it's what I personally used after my depressing doctor's visit to eventually drop over 100 pounds without ever stepping foot in the gym. If I can do these short 4-minute bursts to flatten my belly at over 300 pounds, imagine what you can do, because something so short is extremely easy to fit into your normal daily routine. You won't have to worry about blocking off an hour to go to the gym every night, or try to find a babysitter so you can slog away on the treadmill for an hour and never experience any real results. All you need is 4 minutes to melt away the fat and sculpt some sexy, lean muscle, allowing your self-esteem to soar without ever stepping foot in some dirty, germ-filled gym with a bunch of strangers staring at you. See, too many people focus on high-intensity exercise, which can work great if you're in your early 20s and your body can handle the constant pounding. However, as you get older, those high-intensity workouts produce a lot of cortisol, also known as the stress hormone, in your body. So that constant stress and tension being put on your joints from these high-impact workouts may be doing more harm than good. Your body is taking a beating and starts to release cortisol, which stops fat burning and can lead to easier injury. However, when you've reprogrammed your body and metabolism to use fat for fuel, which is exactly what you'll do when you follow this simple blueprint, a little bit of low-impact exercise goes a long way. You won't have to rely on these crazy workouts to burn a couple extra calories because your body will already be burning fat at a much faster rate. And these short burst movements are simply the icing on the cake to put you over the edge and experience incredible results without putting any extra pressure on your joints. Just look at what Rebecca posted in a private Facebook group. She's down 7 pounds in just 7 days and couldn't be happier, giving her the momentum and motivation she needs to finally get the body she desires. And that's the thing. My mission is to get you the fastest results possible, as safely as possible, because I know firsthand how frustrating it is to try a new diet or workout program and give it your all without seeing any real results. And then it gets to the point where you don't even want to bother with it anymore because all your hard work never pays off. That's why when you start using this new flat belly detox formula, you can experience a smaller waistline and leaner belly as soon as tomorrow. Take a look at what Maxine had to say. She's a busy mom with a full-time job who ended up losing over 10 pounds in the first 7 days alone, and 2 inches off her belly, hips, and thighs, using these simple slimming detox secrets. And take a look at what this doctor had to say about the magical powers of this easy detox trick. This doctor lost 8.8 pounds in just 3 days without starving himself or even giving up his favorite foods. That's incredible, and the main thing I want you to realize is losing weight doesn't have to be so hard. And it isn't when you know these simple detox secrets Coach Derek shared with me. Now, there's one thing I didn't mention, and that's the bedtime belly detox formula you can use right before bed to flush out all the dangerous toxins that swim around in your system while you sleep. They're like bed bugs that crawl around your pillow and even go in your mouth while you sleep and wreak havoc on your immune system. These toxins and bacteria bugs are not only extremely harmful, they also slow down fat burning in your body because your metabolism can't efficiently burn fat at a faster rate when there are so many other toxins flowing throughout your body. However, you can easily eliminate them with a simple bedtime belly detox that only takes a few minutes, so you can wake up after a peaceful night's sleep feeling more refreshed, looking leaner and more vibrant than ever before. And here's a secret that makes this bedtime detox work so well. You get to eat chocolate. That's right, there's a special kind of chocolate you can eat right before bed that satisfies your sweet tooth and can even help you lose more weight. As you can see, the bedtime belly detox is unlike anything you've ever seen before, and that's why it actually worked for me. Because I struggled with my weight for decades and was on the verge of ending it all. And it's why all those shake diets, eating strictly paleo, and going gluten-free never worked, because I always felt like I was depriving myself and my body would simply hang on to every last ounce of fat no matter how many calories I cut or how many veggies I ate. However, starting today, when you simply add in a spoonful of instant energy in the morning and finish up your day with a delicious soup detox that flushes away all the unwanted toxins while burning belly fat at the same time, you can look and feel absolutely amazing starting tomorrow morning. Discovering this formula has changed my life, which is why I put this flat belly detox blueprint together for you. And it includes everything from the instant energy recipe to the slimming soup detox, the 4-minute low impact fat burning bursts, the bedtime belly detox that you can use at night in just a few minutes to get even faster results while flushing out all the dangerous toxins and bugs in your belly. And the detox quick start guide that'll tell you exactly how to get started so you can begin burning fat as soon as tonight while never feeling confused for a single second. It's literally everything I personally used to drop 16 pounds in just 14 days and 110 pounds overall, completely transforming my body even though I struggled with my weight for over 20 years. And that's where all the popular programs you see online or on late night TV infomercials get it wrong. They just put together a bunch of high intensity exercises or some bland meal plan that has you eating an absurdly low amount of calories every day, assuming it'll work for you, when the reality is you'll be miserable after the first day and likely quit within the first week because it's such a big shock to your system. And that's why those programs never work, except for people who are already in amazing shape or are young enough to withstand the constant pounding on your knees and joints. I wasted so much money on those programs, and that's why I'm so passionate about passing along this information to you, because it can save you a lot of your hard-earned money while adding years onto your life, because it's never too late to get a new outlook on your health. Now, I was a little naive going into all this. I simply thought I could record this free presentation and put it up online to help more people never have to go through what I did, being teased and tormented by my classmates and coworkers. However, the expenses started piling up, and since I will always be completely honest with you, here's what it costs to share my story online. My website website hosting costs $250 a month. My online video storage fees are $97 a year. And I have to pay another $47 a month to make sure there's enough bandwidth to keep this video running for anyone who wants to watch it. So in order to get the once-in-a-lifetime belly slimming solution that I personally use to drop over 110 pounds and to keep this presentation running online to help more people who are struggling with their body and self-esteem issues like I was, I'd have to charge at least $147 for the world's #1 flat belly detox formula. And honestly, that'd still be an absolute steal because you'll save so much money over the next 20 years on pain medications, hospital visits, and outrageous doctor fees that only desire to dig into your pockets instead of giving you a real solution that actually works. However, it's not about the money for me. Money wouldn't have helped when I was a kid sitting alone on the bus while everyone threw food and shot spit wads at me. It wouldn't have helped when I pleaded with my wife not to take any pictures at our wedding, and it definitely would not have helped when I looked at our photo together at the bird park where I was over 300 pounds and the emotional toll all of this took on my life over the past 20 years. I've gone through so much stress, frustration, even disappointment, and I wouldn't wish it on my worst enemy. Yet it's the driving force pushing me out of my comfort zone to help others who want a better body and amazing health no matter how old you are. Which is why when you say yes to the Flat Belly Detox right now, you won't pay $147. You won't even pay half of that. Instead, you'll pay the heavily discounted price of just $57 to get the #1 Flat Belly Detox formula in the world that's so simple and so easy to use, you could be down a pound or two by tomorrow morning after adding in a few simple tricks that work for anyone at any age in any physical condition. To be honest, I lost my first 50 pounds without even exercising because just the simplest movements caused me a ton of pain as my bones and joints were working to support the extra weight on my body. So I don't want you to limit yourself and think it's not for you because these belly slimming secrets can work for anyone who gives them a try. Now, before you say yes, I want to give you something even better. I remember what it was like when my parents both got laid off around the same time and money was extremely tight in our house for a while. And that feeling will stick with me forever, which is why, since you've taken the time to listen to my personal story, you're not going to pay the heavily discounted rate of just $57. Instead, I'll practically give you the entire Flat Belly Detox formula for the extremely low discounted price of just $37. Here's what you need to do in order to take advantage of this limited time discount. Click the Add to Cart button below and you'll be taken to our 100% secure order form page. Once you enter in your information, you'll get instant access to the entire Flat Belly Detox system that includes the instant energy on-the-go recipe, the slimming soup detox diet, the 4-minute low-impact fat-burning burst follow-along workout videos, the bedtime belly detox that you can use at night in just a few minutes to get even faster results while flushing out all the dangerous toxins and bugs in your belly, and the Detox Quick Start Guide that'll tell you exactly how to get started so you can begin burning fat as soon as tonight while never feeling confused for a single second. And I added in this limited time bonus of the top 5 fat-storing foods you should absolutely avoid that are causing your body to store more fat if you have 15 or more pounds to lose. Look, I always thought all fruits were healthy. However, once I cut out bananas and dates from my diet, the fat started melting off faster than ever. And there are 3 others you should cut out immediately if you want to burn more fat. And the good news is you can access all of this from your computer, phone, or tablet so you can take this cutting-edge information with you wherever you go. It's like your own personal guide that you can keep with you to make sure you get the breakthrough results you deserve. Look, I completely understand if you're still a bit skeptical. After all, my personal story isn't something you hear or read about every day, and you might still be wondering if this will work for you. Which is why I want to put your worries at ease, because when you say yes to the Flat Belly Detox today, you'll be backed by our 60-day, 100% money-back guarantee. If over the next 60 days you feel like you didn't receive 10 times the value of what you paid for, then I insist you get an immediate and full refund with no questions asked. Simply send an email to our support team and you'll be taken care of right away. There's no risk in getting started, and I'll personally be there on the inside, ready to help you transform your body and your health in just minutes a day. Get started right now by clicking the Add to Cart button below. Look, I know we covered a lot of information today. However, right now you're at a crossroads and you only have 3 options. Option number 1 is you can close out of this free presentation and forget everything you learned here today. You can keep feeling frustrated and upset with your body. You can keep hoping things will change, and you can keep doing the same things over and over again that have led you to where you are right now with a body you're obviously unhappy with. However, if you've made it this far, then I know you want more. Option number 2 is you can take everything you learned here today and try to apply it yourself. You can spend weeks researching the ins and outs of insulin resistance and how it may be affecting you. And you can create your own instant energy recipe to kill your cravings and burn more belly fat every single day. And you can figure out how to detox your body from all the toxins and bad belly bugs that everyone has and yet very few know how to get rid of. You can spend the next few months or even years figuring all of that out on your own. However, if that's your plan, wouldn't you have done it already? Wouldn't you have figured this all out a long time ago? The truth is, soon life will get in the way like it always does, and you'll end up in the same spot a year from now, struggling with your weight and body image issues when it all could have been resolved if you simply took action today. Option number 3 is you can take the easy way out. Simply apply all the hard work I've already done for you, and in just minutes a day, you can start looking and feeling better than you ever imagined possible. After all, I've already done all the heavy lifting to figure this out on my own after years of bullying, being picked on, and ruthless ridicule from so many people in my life. All you have to do is a few simple tricks throughout the day that I've already proven work, and you can start visibly seeing a flatter belly that's more firm to the touch just days from now without much extra effort on your end. So if you want to take the noble and easy way out, so your kids and grandkids have even more time to spend with you making memories that'll last a lifetime, then simply click the add to cart button below, and I'll be there waiting on the inside, ready to personally help you. To your exciting new body and life, I'm Josh Houghton. Are you still there? I get it. You took in a lot of information today and you may still have some questions. Here are the most common questions I've received about the flat belly detox system. Question: am I too old for this to work? Answer: definitely not. It has worked wonders for women and men in their 30s, 40s, 50s, and all the way up to people in their late 70s and early 80s. That's because the belly slimming movements are low impact and completely optional, so you don't even have to do them in the beginning to get great results. And the simple 2-step detox will have you eating more of your favorite foods while flushing away your fat with a miracle instant energy recipe that works for anyone at any age in any type of physical condition. To burn more fat while improving your health. Question: Josh, I lost 7 pounds in the first 7 days. Is that normal? Answer: congratulations! The flat belly detox is in sync with your natural fat burning cycles, and you should be very proud of yourself. On average, we see 5 pounds of weight loss in the first week, although we have seen as much as 9 pounds of fat lost. However, it's much more than that. It's how your clothes fit as the weight starts coming off, how you see yourself in the mirror as the fat starts melting away and your true body begins to show. Everyone is different, yet at least 5 pounds of weight loss in the first week is about average. Question: do I need a bunch of equipment or a fridge full of diet food to get started? Answer: absolutely not. You don't need a single piece of equipment or any special diet food to get started. All you need is a positive attitude that's focused on getting the results you desire without letting anything stand in your way. Question: what happens after I click the add to cart button? Answer: once you click the add to cart button below, you'll be taken to our 100% secure order form page. Once you enter in your information, you'll receive instant and immediate access to the entire Flat Belly Detox program, along with the follow-along videos and bonus reports. You can download all the manuals and videos straight to your computer, tablet, or phone, so you can use them as often as you'd like. This is a one-time only investment in yourself, and you will never be billed again. Question: how does your money-back guarantee work? Answer: these flat belly secrets have saved people's lives, rescued marriages, and even freed people from their expensive medications and hospital visits, which is why I wanted to make it as easy as possible for you to try it out. So I took all the risks so you can test it out on me. If you go through the program and realize that it's just not for you, send me an email and I'll be happy to provide you with a full refund with no questions asked. Question: Josh, I'm ready to make a change. What's the next step? Answer: I'm so excited and I can't wait to help you break through and transform your body starting today. The first step is to click the add to cart button below. Enter in your information in our 100% secure order form page, and you'll receive instant access to the entire Flat Belly Detox program. Plus a quick start guide that will tell you exactly how to get started toward your new slim and sexy body starting right now without any confusion. And with our 60-day 100% money back guarantee, you have nothing to lose and an exciting, youthful life to gain.